Hi, everybody. It's meteorologist Joe Chaffee. Let's take a look at the day run European because I want to start off with the possibility that we could have something here later Sunday night into Monday morning. And this was the European from yesterday day run. And it actually had a nice little low that it develops from the wave that forms on the cold front after it goes by. And then that wave moves across northern Virginia, Maryland, off southernmost New Jersey, and continues east-northeast from there. And you can see it here. It's a nice, tight little low. And when you look at the jet stream pattern aloft, you really don't see very much. There's just a little kink here in the flow. And sometimes that's really all it takes, that you get just a little disturbance, has some moisture to work on, and just the right dynamics, and you can get something to happen. Now, the European's been showing this for a few days, and now that we're inside the NAMS range, we're going to go take a look at that, what it did last night, because it was just a bit eye-opening, and you can see the NAM, the kink there is a little better defined than it is on the European, but it matches up fairly well. And we'll go to the surface now, and I'm just going to back it up a little bit, and let me just adjust the map for you so you can see the time up here. So we'll go back to Saturday, and of course, you know, it's mild here with a west wind, but there's a cold front that moves on through, and you can see there's a low in central Missouri, and every run has been a little further south with this, and looks like it's going to be somewhere near St. Louis. There's a weak front that you can just pick out here Sunday morning that's going through, and by Sunday evening there's some rain showers that are on our doorstep. And you see where the colder air is up here, up through the Great Lakes, and it's just gradually bleeding down. The low intensifies a little bit as it moves into eastern Kentucky, across West Virginia into Virginia, over the Delmarva Peninsula, which is an interesting place for it to be, and then moves out just east of the New Jersey coast, and the pressures continue to lower. It's a small little system. It's very tight, but the NAM, through its dynamics and just enough bleeding of cold air, creates a fairly impressive area of snow that covers eastern Pennsylvania, going back to 10 p.m. on Sunday night, and you can see as it moves overhead, changes over to snow in northern New Jersey a little after midnight, and then a couple of hours after that, it's got pretty hefty snows falling over Long Island and Connecticut, and then we only go out to 84 hours here. So I'm just going to say that, you know, I mentioned this a couple of days ago, and I did put up a cheap thrill alert post. In terms of precipitation here, the total precip, I was a little surprised. The NAM actually generates between a ½ inch and 3/4 of an inch of rain of melted liquid, and you can see even a few pockets of the 3/4 of an inch to an inch, a couple of little white dots, one over Long Island here and another one over northern New Jersey, and a patch over eastern Pennsylvania. Not saying it's right, but that's what the model's doing. And the European was not that different. The European had the same amounts pretty much, just had them a little bit further north because the prior run had the surface low just a shade further north. So it'll be interesting to see what that model does with this tonight, if it follows the same path. The NAM seems to have caught up to the European's idea. So we'll see if the European holds the idea. I think it strengthens the case that we could have a rain changing to snow situation here Sunday night into Monday, and it could be maybe something in terms of accumulation. And NAM wants to be a little bit aggressive. I'll show you the snow map from the model. I'll get even tighter for you with this, and then we're going to go on to the next thing for the middle of the week, which I don't think we're going to have any kind of resolution on that tonight. But you can see it's got a pretty hefty patch of snow across much of Pennsylvania, across into northeastern Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey. This area produces 6-inch plus snows, and it looks for Long Island, it produces 3 to 3 to 6 inches is like a couple of little patches there you can see, and they extend back through central New Jersey and into southeastern Pennsylvania. So, let's take these numbers and cut them in half right off the bat and wait to see what the European run is doing. I'm not forecasting anything on this at this point until I get to see a little bit more. Now, let's look at what the GFS did tonight, and I kind of glanced at it. I really didn't give it a good look, and let's widen out just a little bit so we can get a full flavor. And we'll put the weather systems on here. Okay, so we're going to start here on Monday, and the front is through well south. High pressure is building into eastern Canada, and then heads up into Quebec and out, and you can start to see this low that comes out from the Gulf states. Actually takes a prime one low up into West Virginia, redevelops it off the Delaware coast, and then takes that low northeastward. I mean, it really, it's kind of a ho-hum to me, the way this looks. I'm not even sure how correct this all is with the model going back and forth in different directions on strength. And as we said, part of the problem is when you look at what's going on aloft, every run is different with how it handles these features. You've got all these systems running around in the jet stream. We'll get a little wider. You can get a better flavor of this if I go to the full US view. And, every run it keys on something a little different. Something's a little faster, something's a little slower. And you can see that southern stream feature never really phases. The north is back through here. Here's the southern stream feature. They never really get together until they're close to the coast, and it doesn't really lift up in a way that would take a storm to our west. I'll back up 2 runs, and you can see the difference. And this is from this afternoon. And the northern stream feature is way back up in Minnesota. And here's the southern stream feature way ahead in the southeast. And then you compare it to now, and it's the same time frame. This is the old 156 hour. We'll go to the late afternoon run, and you can see that the north is still here. The south's a little bit slower. The north is about the same, and then suddenly we go on this run, and the north is it's got it sort of phased out. It looks like there's another weather system that's coming in to the Dakotas. So what this to me is just, there's so much confusion going on with all these weather systems running around. It's hard to get a real good sense of where this is all going. Now, let's hope the Canadian is in, because then we could take a look at that. And it is. And we'll see if the Canadian offers us something different. And you can already see the differences. I just flipped over to the same time frame, and here's your southern stream feature. It looks like it's slower. You got this other feature that's back through the Dakotas. I mean, this is such a mess when you look at it. And we'll go to the surface map now. I'll get tighter, and we can take a look here. And basically it's got takes a low just inland of the coast into eastern Pennsylvania. So we're actually gone back now to something that we saw a few days ago on the Canadian, and then has some other low that's right behind it that moves offshore because of how it has its upper air structure. I don't believe this. This is another mess that it has, and then it turns very cold behind it. So you know what? Until we get this first system resolved, and by the way, let's see with the first system. It does have, it does have the low, kind of like what the dam does. The only difference is that the thermal profiles here, temperatures aloft are a little warmer, which is typical of this model. So it's got rain instead of snow, and it has snow much further north into upstate New York. And then that low moves out. It actually intensifies it as it moves southeast of the New England coast. So you know what? We got stuff to look at over the next couple of days. I'm going to start paying more attention to this first lead system before I start going crazy with the second one, which has been, on everybody's mind for days now. And, the European's going to do what it's going to do. So we'll figure it all out in the morning. And in the meantime, just enjoy the transition over to a nice spring-like Saturday with temperatures in the 50s and some sunshine. It should be a really nice day.